Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream, or if you're on YouTube, then the YouTube video. Awesome. Darstone, thank you. Yeah, I love, had a lot of fun with the deck. Very excited to kind of dive into it. There were definitely a couple decisions I made that were immediately I was like, I should have mulliganed this hand, but long tournament, some high-ish stakes matches. That stuff's just bound to happen. You just kind of got to shake it off. The TLDR on Battlefield Improvisation. So Assassin's Creed came out last summer, right? And at that point, Axe did not exist, and obviously Mox Opal was not legal. And so I evaluated the card in the context of kind of what we were already playing, where you want to go aid, spear, hammer, kill them. The reality is the meta isn't a way, and the way the deck is constructed now, you really want to do things differently. So Sigard Aid asks that you keep all your equipment in hand as long as possible, because then you get the free equip. Flash is nice on the equipment too. That is something I kind of miss a little bit. And Paladin asks you kind of the opposite. He kind of wants all the equipment in play already, because you need the Metalcraft to move everything. Mox Opal also pushes us in that direction for a couple reasons. One, obviously, just being able to have Metalcraft earlier is better. So you want to be able to play out your stuff like hammers sooner. But also because of Mox Opal, there are more games where you just go turn one, Urza Saga 0, 1, Mox Opal, and then you can start making, 4, 4, 5, 5s as early as turn 2, and then you can just run people over that way. So in case you're unaware, which 14 of my 15 opponents did not know what this card did, which was great. But basically, 1 and a white instant. I'll just zoom in. Oh, God. 1 and a white instant. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. If that creature is attacking, you may attach any number of equipment you control to it. So I tried this card as a 2 of... I was playing 4 Sigard's Aid, 4 Paladin, 2 Battlefield, just to see how it was. Or BI. And it immediately just killed my opponent. And so I was okay, we'll experiment more. And we got to the point where I was talking to a couple people, and I was kind of already going in this direction, but they had independently come to the conclusion of, what if we just played Battlefield instead of Sigard's Aids? And I was really intrigued by that, so I started doing that, and I really, frankly, did not miss the aids. So when I was evaluating this card, initially, it's this is just a trick that if your opponent knows how it works, they just kill your attacker and win the game, right? Or just blow you out. That feels pretty bad. The other piece is that now that we have Mox Opal and Leyline Axe, the ability to go turn 1, 0-drop, hammer, land on turn 1, and then start with the axe in play, means that on turn 2, any second land, so obviously if you have Paladin, you need a second white source, which you have a bunch of those, or Battlefield, kills the opponent immediately, because you get to go play second land, either play Paladin, move axe and hammer to something, and attack with it, or attack and then Battlefield to attach everything. So it's a Memnite ends up becoming a 3/3 +1, so 4/4 +10, so 14/14, right? No. 14/14, double strike trample. So your opponent just takes 28 and they die. When people have asked what does this card do, I just explained that it kills them, and then we win the game. But frankly, the card drastically overperformed any of my expectations, and so I immediately just said I was wrong. But yeah, so between evaluating Battlefield Improvisation initially within the context of effectively almost a different play pattern of the deck, and then of course Mox Opal and Leyline Axe getting into the deck, I think my assessment at the beginning was probably correct. Easily could have been wrong, but I didn't bother kind of reassessing the power level of the card after all these changes have been made, right? Because we made a ton of changes. We were playing Fervent Champion, which I still think that card's sick, but I don't think it's kind of worth the mana, the cost on your mana base to do. So that's kind of why I was wrong on BI. And why I think you should just be playing 4 of this card. I would play 4 Paladin, 4 BI before I would touch a single Sigarda's Aid. And frankly, I think 4 Janu is actually a better 9th or 10th equipper than Sigarda's Aid, primarily because both BI and Paladin ask that you deploy your equipment early and often to the board, and 4 Janu plays a lot better with that than a Sigarda's Aid, right? There's no tension, and the tension sucks. So that's kind of why I was wrong about BI. That's why I think you should be playing BI. And if you think it sucks, I would recommend trying it like I did, and then you can be like, damn, this is good. Or you can say this still sucks, and then and then, you know, not do it. So in terms of the event, yeah, we had 19 lands plus the Razor Grass, which this is immediately getting cut. This is immediately getting cut for any fetch land. I'm just going to play a Windswept because I like the art. And frankly, that's because I think you want access to Consign to Memory as early as turn 1. There was actually a match where I lost game 3. I had to mulligan a 7 that had double Consign and like a good hand. But because the fetch land was a Razorgrass Ambush, I couldn't cast it, so I had to throw it back because it wasn't quite good enough without access to the Consign. So Razorgrass is fine, Witch Enchanter is fine, but I think you just want, if you're splashing for Consign, you should just like want to have it as early as turn 1, especially if you're on the draw. Cool. So that's kind of what happened. And I actually wasn't originally planning on playing BI. I kind of had my list set more or less, and then about a week out from the event, I was like, well, you know, I haven't tried it. Let's try it. And I played with it. I'm like, damn it. Well, now I have to figure all this out. So yeah, that's kind of where we landed. After the event, what I definitely want to do is I want to fit the 2 extra surges into the main because of a couple things. One, I think there's a lot of spot removal, especially out of like Breach right now. Just the way they interact. A lot of it isn't creatures either. But yeah, Thomas, I think it was literally the first game I played where I was like, yeah, this card's good. I was wrong. But also Surge just plays incredibly well with both BI and Paladin, where it's just like you Surge and then you can attack freely with BI and your opponent dies. Giver is awkward. Some people have asked, why don't we play a couple Giver runes instead, which Giver's a fine card, but I really don't like that Pro Colorless is something you'll want to do quite often against like the Eldrazi deck, and also because it makes your equipment fall off is the big piece. But also you can't name, like, so if I go BI on something and they like flash into Solitude to tag my guy, if I give protection from white, then Battlefield Improvisation is countered by game rules, or, you know, we all like to call it fizzling. So I think those are kind of the main reasons I don't want to do it. Also, yeah, just like Pro Colorless feels pretty bad right now, and I think Surge is just kind of the better option. And what that also does is, so how do we make room for the 2 Surges? I think I'm just going to cut the 4 Janu and 1 Steel Shaper's Gift. You could make an argument for the 2nd Steel Shaper's Gift, but I kind of like 1. And the 4 Janu, I think, is a trap. So the reason I say that is because oftentimes, especially in this meta, Thomas, Aid also gets blown out by the pro white piece. If you are just like, if you are only attaching 1 equipment on like turn, you know, as early as turn 2, I guess you can technically do it on 1 if you have like multiple mobiles. I don't generally think that's good enough to win the game. Card's fine, you can totally play it, but I think when you are relying on 4 Janu as your equipper, you're setting yourself up to likely lose the game. So that's kind of the way I'm making room. I've toyed around with 3 Leyline Axe instead of 4. I think Leyline Axe is just like way better than it looks. It turns on Mopal. It generally doesn't get swept up in like the Meltdown, more Wrath of the Skies effects, unless they have a lot of energy, and then you're probably losing the game anyway. But also I think it's really important to have against Boros, because getting the free trample and double strike effect is just a really big deal, because usually they just have a million chump blockers by making like cats and stuff on that. So Nettle Cyst is an interesting one. Blank Moth, I think it's good enough. That is definitely, like, if I were to cut another card for something else, it would definitely be either the Cyst or the Steel Shaper's Gift. I will say, I think Nettle Cyst is fine. I mostly like it because there are a lot of post-board games where they are like, especially like Breach, right? They can become much more controlling post-board. So they can interact in a lot of different ways. And having Nettle Cyst means that you just like have this reasonable like 3/3/4/4 body that you can grab and threaten them without having to have BI or Paladin. There was like literally a game where I think it was round 15. It was game 2. I was down a game against Breach, and I had started with the Leyline Axe. They had 3 or 4 pieces of interaction. I had a Surge, but like they drew another piece of interaction. And so I just like literally strapped up a Leyline Axe for 3 mana on an Ornithopter, started getting in for chips of damage, and then I was able to draw a Nettle Cyst, activate Stoneforge to put it in because I had seen they had access to like, you know, Spell Pierce, but I also knew they had Consigns, which sometimes people bring in, sometimes they don't. So I activate Stoneforge, put in Nettle Cyst, attach it to the Ornithopter, and I attacked for, it was either 10 or 12 trample flying damage, which like this card just kind of uniquely does. You could play Cranial Plating, but I think this is the better option. But yeah, like the fact that it pairs really well with Axe. It does a lot of things you're kind of wanting to do. Yeah, also, yeah, I will say the Nettle Cyst plays really well with having lots of zeros. I think I would basically always play more Steel Shaper's Gifts over more copies of Nettle Cyst, but obviously, like, people have ways to destroy the Nettle Cyst, so I don't think that's as unreasonable as it once was. That's kind of where I fall on the Nettle Cyst. I really like having the Surveilland. I think you should just do that. Surveillands are broken. Like, I don't know. And with the Mox Opals, we're just more likely to have that like extra mana, or we can usually like double or triple spell the next turn to kind of catch back up from if you need to surveil. So that's kind of where I would be at right now with the main deck. And then the sideboard, let's talk about that, right? So we also have 2 open slots, which I like. So Hushbringer was for specifically the white-black deck, because creatures entering or dying don't cause abilities to trigger. So almost all their all their interaction, with the exception of usually like 4 Fatal Push and then some Wrath of the Skies in the sideboard, this card completely shuts off. Also, you can just like put an Axe on it, make it a 2 power flying double strike lifelinker. So like, you know, draining for 4 each turn is really good. I think that's just frankly the best card against the white-black deck. You could look to Gatekeeper Thrall or Strict Proctor, but I think with the way those games play out, you really want to be on Hushbringer. Obviously, if you want to hate on stuff more like Titan, then Proctor is going to be better, but white-black is just the much more popular deck in the meta right now. Consign to Memory, it's really, really good against Eldrazi. And then also weird stuff like Belcher, it's really good against. I also think it has a ton of utility against, for example, Amulet Titan, both tagging an Amulet on the way down. You can tag a Saga Chapter 3 so they can't go get an Amulet. And also even stopping a Titan enter trigger, being able to go, no, you don't get your lands, can potentially win the game. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I would probably add a 4th Consign, but we can talk about that in a minute. Wear Tear. Note that I don't have a fetchable red source in the deck, but that's because you can actually just ignore Wear. This card is literally just Tear. Let me finish the sideboard, and then we can touch base on that. Basically, yeah, I think the single white destroy target enchantment is just a really powerful effect right now. It's good against Breach. It's really good post board against like Boros, because it tags Stony Silence as well as Goblin Bombardment and Static Prison. And then also, you do have the ability with a Mox Opal to fuse them. So you could, if we didn't have Mox Opal, I would probably be playing Erase, because exiling an enchantment is pretty reasonable against like Breach, for example. But yeah, like straight up single white destroy target enchantment is just like really, really good. Rest in Peace, good against like Breach. So heads up, Grafdigger's Cage is better against Breach than Rest in Peace against most builds that are playing it. And we'll kind of dive into that in just a second. But I was playing Rest in Peace because I felt it was also really good against like Frog. No, yeah. Erase, I believe, exiles. Here, I'll just pull it up real quick just to make sure. Yeah, erase, single white, instant, exile target enchantment. Oh, and there's a sweet Urza's Legacy version. Okay, well, that might be the tiebreaker. If you just want a super sweet old card, then that's the way to do it. But yeah, Rest in Peace, obviously completely nuking graveyards, huge against Breach. Not only do they have to kill the Rest in Peace, but they usually then have to do like at least a little bit of work to build up their yard to then go off. But also shuts off like Emery and all that. But I really like Rest in Peace because it also is good against stuff like Frog. Alan Wu, no, it's not an erase effect. I mean, it mostly is. But Cage. So I think at this point, unless things change, we just shouldn't respect Frog at all, because I think it's very clear from the numbers that like that deck's just like not. It has like pretty bad win rates against a lot of things. Obviously, it has a lot of powerful things going on, and if things line up right, I think that deck can be quite good. But like even Twinless Twin, right? The guy who creates the Merc Guide wasn't even playing Frog at RC. He was playing Grinding Station, I believe. Apologies if I was wrong, but that's what I saw. Frog does suck. And I kind of like the card Frog, but the deck is just, I don't think that's where we want to be. But yeah, Grafdigger's Cage. So Grafdigger's Cage, I was always playing one because it's like good against the Zenith decks for the most part. Obviously, there aren't a lot of those right now, but it also stops Emery and Breach for a single mana. It's also Metalcraft for Mox Opal, makes your constructs bigger. Obviously, Rest in Peace makes your Nettlecyst bigger, but the big difference between Cage and Rest in Peace, besides... No, I'm not bringing in 15 cards against Titan. We can touch base on that. The reason Grafdigger's Cage is better than Rest in Peace against specifically Breach out of Hammer is because not only does it turn off Emery and Underworld Breach, but it also says creatures in graveyards and libraries can't enter the battlefield. That means Chapter 3 of Urza Saga, they cannot get Haywire Might. They can, now if you're in paper, they say, Chapter 3, you say, okay, if you have a Cage in play, they go grab Haywire Might, they toss it in play, you ask, okay, is that your choice? And if they say yes, then you let them know they can shuffle it back into their deck, and you call a judge, the judge will come over, and as long as they confirmed that, and so like everything was clear, the judge will say, yep, shuffle it back in, because it was a legal choice, it just can't enter the battlefield. Any vintage players who have played like with Tinker, trying to get Blightsteel Colossus, know the way. Yep. Yeah, and that is important. It is symmetrical, so don't try to grab Memnite or Ornithopter if you have Cage in play. But yeah, so right now, unless there are a bunch of graveyard decks that we care specifically about nuking the graveyard and not the Grafdigger's Cage part, I think you can just cut the Rest in Pieces entirely for 2 more Grafdigger's Cage. Yeah, if the Breach decks start playing a lot of like Engineered Explosives effect, then we can definitely revisit it. But yeah, so this is probably what I would do. And then Needle is just a really nice tool to kind of have across the board. So with that said, what I would probably do is add another Consign to Memory. The other thing I have considered is cutting the Nettlecyst to just put a main deck Cage, because I think that effect is just really, really good right now. Which, yeah, whatever. YOLO. Being able to grab a Cage game 1 against Breach seems really, really, really good. And so if we have 2 slots to play around with, question is, what do we want them to be? There could be a bunch of different stuff, but I am inclined to make them some sort of counterspell. Probably could be a Swan Song, like Swan Songs. It could be like Stern Scolding, because that's pretty good against the white-black deck as well. But I think Swan Song coming in against basically any deck that Wrath of the Skies exists, that's where you want to be. Yeah, probably, yeah. So Swan Song against Boros, for example, it tags Wrath of the Skies, and it tags Stony Silence, and it tags Goblin Bombardment, which are really important cards. Against Breach. I don't think I'm bringing these in against Breach because I don't think you really want them. And then you could though, like it's not unreasonable. And then you can also just bring these in against like weird control decks, stuff like that. Yeah, it does hit Breach. But I think when you have like triple cage, needle, wear tears, and a bunch of Surge of Salvations, like you generally don't kind of need that effect. So this is probably where I'd be at. These are obviously flex. You could add another cage if you really just like want to continue hard targeting Breach, which I think is pretty reasonable. You could also play a different like 1-mana counterspell. The other card you could consider is Dawn's Truce, I believe it's called. A lot of people are really high on this card. I think it's fine. So gift a card. So basically, as you're casting it, you can say, hey, I'll gift you a card, and if the spell resolves, then they get to draw a card. But it says it's 1 and a white. You and permanents you control gain hexproof until end of turn. If the gift was promised, so if you say, hey, I'll give you a card if you let this resolve, so bribery, permanents you control also gain indestructible until end of turn. So it's poor man's heroic reinforcements, but it's in white. Dawn's Truce giving indestructible is the big piece because it is a way to stop Wrath of the Skies is the big piece. I think we want the Swan Songs instead because they're a little more flexible and they cost 1 mana. But yeah, kind of do whatever you want, have some fun. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at on where I think the deck should be. Yeah, so we can actually, so since you bring it up, we can talk about Esper Sentinel because I am a known Memnite hater and I'm a known adorer of Esper Sentinel. But here's the thing. Esper Sentinel is really good against like these slower or like, these decks that either have to be super efficient and also tend to go pretty long. So like the perfect example was, is it Murktide during MH2 era? It was so good against it was so good against that deck. It blocked Ragavan. It usually drew at least 2-3 cards. But its Boros Energy, Eldrazi Ramp, Grinding Station make up a huge percentage of the meta, even more than they're showing here. Like if you look at the RCs, I think Boros and Grinding Station were both like 20%, just shy. I think like 19 point something. And Eldrazi Ramp I think was like 14%. I could be wrong, and like it's only good against Frog, whereas turning on Mox Opal early combined with fast BI or Paladin kills is just so good. Yeah, like Thomas said, if Frog was good, then I would like Sentinel a lot more, but that's kind of where I'm at. Okay, so let's go here. Put Cyst back in the deck. You get back in. You can move back over here. Cut the Swan Songs. Could have one Swan Song as a treat, I guess. Okay, here we go. All right. We're on the draw again. Come on. And this hand kind of sucks. So, easy mull. We are going to draw a BI and win the game, so I'm going to say easy keep. I think it's bottom the Ink Moth, but it is close. Yeah. Start with an accent play, say okay. Yeah. And this way we can lead with Windswept. And like having the second white source is good because it doubles the number of equippers we can draw. No. Okay. It's Eldrazi, not not freaking Amulet Titan. All right. Yeah, it's Plains, Hammer, Memnite, your move Yugi boy. All right. What do we got? And even if I draw it here, I probably won't go for it because we have the surge up. Okay, so we definitely want to be able to make constructs. So I think we do this. attack for 1. Because if they know what's up, they know they could die. And then... And if they like... This way, if they K command, we can... Oh, they're just doing this? Okay, deal. Oh, okay, they are K commanding. Target player... So they still are making dudes. So I think I'm supposed to let this go. Because I think them kicking a Myco spawn, it is more important to be able to protect our Saga from getting blown up. I'm ready. Yeah, like if there's a world breaker too, right? Yep, okay. This is why we did this. Okay, so at least we can make a big old doofus. And then any equipper off the top is still good. And then, of course, post board. I'm pretty happy. Okay. And I think I am supposed to just fetch here. Yeah, so we can make a 4/4. Okay, it plays Forest. World Breaker, incredibly rude. All right, I'll make a guy. All right. I mean, we're not actually in that bad a shape, weirdly. Okay. So now we can... So we can equip Axe here, becomes a 6, and attack freely? Yeah, all right, I'm going to do that. And I'm going to get a Hollowed Fountain, because if they Ghost Quarter me, I want to be able to get a land. Okay, I'll attack for 12 with Trample. Okay. So we get to deal 3 to the Myco spawn on first strike damage, and then not lose the construct. Yeah, I was like, I don't know about this one. This costs effectively 10, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so just take 12. Taking 12 also seems ambitious. All right, sure. Yep, they take 5. We kill them. The World Breaker. And yeah, still once again a lovely equipper off the top would be a delight. Okay, so they've got 3 mana going. They have no mana going. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Still 1 short on getting and casting World Breaker. Yeah, I'll take 3. Okay. Okay, so we just attack with both. Yep. Yeah. And I feel like we... yeah, I think we let this happen, because if they do get the World Breaker back... If they get the World Breaker back and cast it, they are probably blowing up this construct here, and I'm cool with that. Yeah. All right, put you to 3. Okay, put you to 2. Okay, yep, this all makes sense. I would be surprised if they did not tag the construct. It's a 5/7, Joe. It's a 5/7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Yep. There we go. All makes sense to me. And now we can draw a surge, which would be delightful. We did not draw a surge, but that's okay. Yeah, so just attack. I'm gonna do this. One click. 2, 3, 4. A million. I will deal 46 damage. I didn't even get to do first or second strike. Yeah, so we'll bring in the Consigned Memories. Enchantment and sort of sorcery. Nah, still not bringing that. The Needle for Karn. Dude, BI. This card, man. It's so dumb. But you know, it is what it is. So against them, we cut. What all do we want to cut? I think the boots, potentially. Likely the gift, a couple Memnites, and the cyst is probably pretty bad here. Yeah, I support. Oh, no, sorry. We cut like 2 searches here. It's possible we keep an extra surge on the draw. I could see that. Yeah, I'm down to try that. This is like not getting blown out by a kicked Myco spawn on turn 3. This is not a very exciting hand, and it doesn't have consigns. This is a pretty reasonable hand, and it has consigns. So I will keep it. And I think I am binning the second BI. I think that makes sense. Could also bottom the Needle, but I think just bottom the BI makes the most sense. We put the axe in and yield. So now we go Windswept, pass, and the following turn we can like potentially Needle plus. All right. It's also possible we don't even deploy the Needle, but we'll see what we draw. If we draw, like, hopefully we just draw Mopal. I say basically every game because it's the best card in the deck. Yeah, if we draw Mopal, things get a lot simpler and we can deploy the Needle, so. We didn't see the Karn, but Karn is pretty stock in the list, so. Beseiju and like Worldbreaker are usually the other cards you can name, but they are so far below Karn in terms of priority. Okay. Oh yeah, wow. Okay, Talisman's fine. Well, I'm definitely holding up Consign now. Jeez. Okay. Okay. All right, that's 4 mana. Seems super reasonable. It is weird because I kind of want to. I think we just let this go. I think we let this go and get a surveil land. Yeah. That is not what it's about here. Yeah, do this and probably hold the Ornithopter. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Maybe playing the Ornithopter makes sense. Then we have to counter a K command. Yeah, I'm just gonna I think it's because if they go Myco Spawn, I like countering both triggers rather than the 3/3, funny enough. So now we want to draw a land or a hammer. I will accept either one. Land or a hammer. Nope, definitely not. Is there a reason to replicate it? I don't think so. Yeah, okay. Okay. Honestly, like, I'm not happy, but I've been sadder. Okay, yep, take 2. Okay, so what if... I think we're supposed to just go, like, play out everything except the BI here. Maybe hold the Ornithopter. Yeah, do this. And I think I will just proactively. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'm just gonna do this. Karn the Great Creator, not close. And I think I will actually. Yeah, I'll deploy this because they do have a reach blocker. Which, why is reach like the 3rd line? I maintain that's just so bad. That way we have 2 attackers. Okay. Yeah. All right, opponent. Please don't have anything else. I'd appreciate it if you did not have anything else. It looks like they have anything else. Oh yeah, they definitely do. Another Writhing Chrysalis. So rude. Oh, okay, just a trigger. Kicked? Okay, so bad news. They're going to blow up a land and get a land. Good news. Very likely that if we hit a land or a Mopal, they die. So, you know. Give and take. Mopal? 3rd Ornithopter. That works too. Jesus. I don't think there's a reason to play a 3rd Ornithopter, though. Okay. Cool. Have a good one, Thomas. Talk to you later. Okay. Return World Breaker. God, we're so dead. Just blow up the land. Yeah. Yeah, maybe if this were a surge instead. Maybe just like keep all the surges and all the consigns. Sure, why not? Yeah, that seems fine. All right. And maybe Boots is fine because it lets us kind of kill out of nowhere and is a cheap artifact, which Nettle Cyst is not. Sure, we'll try this. Get to be on the play. Jesus, that's most of our equippers. I think on the play we can keep this hand and probably bottom 2nd Mox. Yeah. Get to Surveil on 1. All right. Let's see what we get. Archive. Not terribly exciting. It is an artifact for Mopal, which is something to consider, but I'm not high on it. That is also an artifact for Mopal, which I will deploy. And probably pass turn here. Could also just play the Mopal. I don't think that's unreasonable in case they do have Chalice on 0, which is not unreasonable for them to just like bring in their Chalice. Surveilling on 1 in Eldrazi is definitely a line I don't see super often, but I am cool with them doing it. Jeez, all right. So if we go Saga, we can make a construct, untap, make a construct, play a land. Yeah, I'm just gonna play the planes here, I think. Yeah, since we don't have the boots, that's like pretty relevant. Which means maybe we should have taken the boots. But then we didn't have the 3rd artifact anyway. They're just killing my poor little Memnite. Okay, sure. I accept. Consign there would have been really good because we're playing its colorless spells. Because we would have been able to make a construct and then also counter the Karn. Okay, Chrysalis is acceptable. I'll block. All right. Make a 2/2. Powerful 2/2. Okay. I like that. Yeah, make a construct. Get a hammer, almost certainly. Yeah, get a hammer. Like Saga, trigger. I think we pass here. I like holding up Surge here quite a bit. I think that's how we lose. But them just like being able to tag multiple things. Yeah, a fucking billion mana. You got it. Yep. Okay, float white. Okay, what are we getting here? So Karn, grab EE, hate it here. Okay. Yep. And being able to pop it is so gross. Yep. Yeah, so we probably should have played this Saga the turn before. Weirdly. Yeah, all right. We're still not out of it, strangely. I think we do shock here. Yeah, being able to make a construct and protect, pretty big deal. So rude. All right, yep, Surge. Sure, sure. Okay. So what are we getting with Karn? Yeah. Hating Eldrazi design's like pretty reasonable. Oh no, my graveyard. Not my graveyard. Yeah, so... Well, their graveyard, so they can minus the Karn to get that EE back, I bet. Please attack. Okay, okay. So we've got a shot, I think. Yeah, so I'll make a construct. Okay. So, probably just... So, I think we're floating mana because... I guess it doesn't matter, right? Yeah, I guess we want access to the other mana, which is why we're doing this. Because I don't think making another construct makes a difference. Yeah, okay. Yes. Okay. We're still actually not in the worst shape. Okay, so yeah, we attack Karn. 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so we attack Karn, and then we can BI and play Paladin. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10. Okay. Sure. All right. That one. Okay. And then, yeah, deploy Paladin. They can blow up a land, but if we draw another equipment off the top, we can win. Also, obviously, drawing a consign at any point this match wins us the game. So, you know, there's that. Oh boy. So I'm blocking this Chrysalis or we die. So, yeah. And then tick up the Karn to kill the Hallowed Fountain. We block here. If we draw, I guess if we draw a Shadow Spear, we can win. Unless they just have another removal spell for the Paladin. Jesus. All right, yeah. Sure. Okay. Yeah, so what could we have done differently there? It didn't feel like a mull on the, because we mulled the, or we mulled the 6, I believe. Wow, this hand, Jesus. We do have 20 lands in the deck, so I'm gonna keep this hand, bottom the Paladin, and hope we draw a colored source so we can kill on 2. Yeah. Keeping both BIs because I think they line up a little bit better when we have 0 current white sources. But yeah, I think it is reasonable to strongly dislike the Eldrazi designs. Start with the axe. But with the Eldrazi, it all really comes back to the soul lands. Come on. Okay. Okay. Sure, sure. All right. Well. Okay. White source deck, please. So we have 4 Mopals and 13 lands that add white. So 17. Okay. No bounce land. I'm okay with that. If they like besage you, I don't mind too much. Okay. All right, deck. Help me beat the crap out of Amulet. Let's go. White source right here. Pow. Come on. Come on. Probably Ink Moth here. Yeah. All right, no attacks. At least like they didn't even hit many lands. Spoiler, I'm gonna get a Mox Opal. That was the other reason I was fine keeping a all colorless source, because we do have the Mox off of this. What? Okay, so I don't know. I mean, in no world am I not going for it, so. They probably have Beseju, but like, okay. Yeah, so Mox Opal, not close. So we play out Saga here, for sure. And then play out Hammer, because why not? We also could have animated Ink Moth, but because we have because we only have like the we will only have the single white, we can't double BI. All right, well, did this work? Okay, cool. Sure, I don't know. We is right. That's what we do. We. Okay, so not bringing the Swan Song the card. Nah. Consigned to memory. Yeah. Cage. Definitely the Wear Tears. I think we want all these. I think we can like trim a couple surges since they are lower on Force of Vigor than they used to be. Nettlecyst, like you can play against the Oof, but I think we can beat the Oof anyway. I don't think Boots is what we want, and I think Memnites are. I think the Trample from Shadow Spear can matter. Okay. Cool. Just how much did we do? 2 hammers and an axe plus the 2, so that's 10, 23. So we did 23 plus 23, yeah, so 46. I'm gonna keep this. All we need to do is find a hammer, and we have some reasonable interaction, and we have the axe, so you know, I'm a simple man. I generally wait. Oh, I was so excited for a second. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna run them out. Obviously, this hand's better on the play, but what can you do? I need to alter this to put a hammer where that axe is. Oh, it was nothing? Okay. So they have a Force of Vigor. That's my read on the situation. If my Amulet opponent goes Amulet and then nothing, they could also just be like missing a bounce land maybe, but I don't know. I'm simple. Don't want a second one. I want a hammer. Which I think I'm just grabbing here. Yeah, I think it just gets so much worse for me if I just do nothing. So like if they force here, okay. Yep. I would like to get a hammer, please, because I'm simple. Oh, we get one. We get to attack for one. That's so good. Send in the clowns. And if I had my next mana, like my next land rolled up, I probably would have just like passed. But if we just wait and we don't rip a mana source, then we're in the same spot, but they have one more card to play. So I'm not super huge on that idea. It's like you just kind of have to accept that you might get blown out here. Okay, sure. Dryad? Question mark. Oh, they didn't bounce the bounce land. Okay. Sure, Dryad. All right. So, okay. Wait, what? All right. Okay, that's kind of sick. Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna play the hammer here. And then pass turn. And then hopefully we rip a mana source so we can surge plus BI. That'd be kind of ideal. If they do force here, I absolutely will surge. Yeah, okay, cool. Pitching Summoner's Pact. All right, so if they have all this and a kill, okay, so be it. We know none of the cards in their hand. Yeah, let's see. Exactly, they aren't allowed to have it. It's not allowed because we can't beat it. See, Adam, you get it. You get it, man. Not legal. Yep. Okay. Paying costs. Sure. Okay, sure. Wait, turn off auto yields. Do this. I'll shock. Okay. What a coward. We could attack. And if they block, we can just like put the axe on it, kill their Dryad, which is probably pretty good. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 damage coming across. What if we don't attack and then put another axe in end step? I think that's probably better. I mean, I'll attack with the Ornithopter to send a message for sure. Okay, yeah, so they had Beseiju, Force of Vigor. All right. I think I am just gonna. Well, no, because they can. So we counter that, and then it bounces. They can play it again, but that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's still Titan, but then we can counter the Titan too. So all right. kind of about it since we have 2 of them. Dude, don't ninjutsu. That'd be sick. Maybe we should put Kaito in this deck. Put a hammer on him. That's content. Okay, the returned forest. Okay, cool. Consigned to memory was just like -2 mana for them. I'm cool with that. All right, that. Okay, I don't mind that. Boop boop. Exactly. It has hexproof. How can they defeat it? It's too powerful. Let's put that there. Put that there. All right. Attack for 6. Looks like a good amount of damage. It's a real amount. How rude. Wait, black. Oh, just okay. I've never seen pay black for Dismember out of Amulet. I will say that. I guess some lists are playing the Vampire's Vengeance, right? So we probably are supposed to just move that there. I guess probably both there. Yeah, sure. Whatever. All right. How strange. Yeah, so they had plenty of interaction. Titan? I'll consign that so fast. The trigger, I can't consign the Titan, obviously. Oh, sure, okay. I don't think we care about the extra mana here, right? Yeah. Like, I can't imagine we do. Return Simic Growth Chamber and... Okay, sure. All right, yeah, get your Titan. All right, deck. If you could give me a hammer off the top, I would greatly appreciate it. All right, cool. I'll block. All right, damn. Come on. Okay, so we can attack for 8. So 4, 5, 6. So we just attack for 8 here, probably. Maybe we're supposed to block the Titan with the Paladin. Yeah, okay. A strange world. If that was the case, I was definitely supposed to move the axes to the Ornithopter and attack for, 4, but luckily I don't think it'll matter too much. So they attack, we block, and we pump. I guess if they have double Valakut, that's pretty bad. But if they do that, I'm toast, so. Or actually, do they just need the 1 Valakut? It's 5 other mountains? Yeah. So we're toast this game. Yeah, well, it depends, I guess, on what they target. Beseju and there. Yeah, okay, it's fine. And move on with my day. All right. I don't think we want Hushbringer. I don't think that's a real thing here. If they have that much interaction, I don't mind like a Surge over a Memnite. Actually, or maybe over a Shadow Spear. Yeah, I think that's fine. Yeah, just keep it real simple. Axes and hammers. Oh my. Why aren't you strict proctor? We've played against Amulet twice tonight. That's so much. So much. Cage we could consider bringing in for their stupid green sun, but I don't think that's what we want here. It's a turn 3 kill, right? We can just go turn 1 Saga, Hammer, Memnite, Ornithopter. Yeah, sure. On the play, I think turn 3 is reasonable. If they have Force of Vigor, so be it. And maybe we'll draw like a Mopal to just also make a giant idiot. Okay. Sure. Can I have my busted mana engine, please? Not really the busted mana engine I was hoping for. I think I'm supposed to just like battlefield, put a hammer on the Ornithopter. You're probably the Memnite. Are you blocking? Okay. Yeah. All right. 13, yeah. Let's go. Yeah, I don't know, like turn 2 hammer. Pretty good. Hit for 14. All right. I'll take it. I guess they did not have Beseju. That was the takeaway there. Yeah. Consign, I think, is just too important to not play 4 of at this point, especially with like how popular the Eldrazi shell is and how much it can just like flip the matchup, even just having 1 copy. Obviously, you need other things going on, but pretty huge. Ooh, we want a die roll. It's really exciting. This hand is not exciting though. I believe this hand is a trap. Yeah, we don't have an equipper. We don't have a hammer. Yeah, axe and Mopal try to get you, man. Obviously, we have a Surveil. Like, if we had a Saga in this hand, I'd keep it, because that's creatures. But we don't have a Saga. So, I won't be keeping it. To 5 we go. Kept 7? What a jerk. I will keep this hand. Bottom Memnite, and honestly, Maybe Memnite. Yeah, sure. All right. Oh, my dog is going crazy. Just a second. I'll be right back. All right. Sorry about that. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we have axes. We can surveil on one. Yeah. I mean, against Eldrazi, so they kept 7. God. Is it correct to call it a trap when it isn't even trying to disguise itself? I guess it's more Mopal and Axe bait me. It's a trap specifically for me. No. Because this is that. Yeah. Saga. Do we need an equipper pretty bad? But I'm okay with that. Yeah. Ooh, Justin, that's good. Travis Honeypot. Yeah. though I think that's this deck. To be fair, that's just the whole deck. Yeah, let's get a hammer. Y'all are great. Okay, so they have Devourer. They exiled Worldbreaker, a different Devourer, and a Malevolent Rumble. Can't imagine ever getting rid of a Rumble. Card's like the best card in your deck. Doesn't matter what deck you're playing. It's the best card. They got a Chrysalis, perchance. Looks like it. Yep. Okay. Writhing Chrysalis. So give me an equipper and I'll kill them. I don't mind that one. If I'm not drawing an equipper, I'm glad it's at least a protection spell. So yeah, pass turn. Make a construct. Yeah. All right. Jesus. I have put the Kim Possible villain Shigo onto all of my Mox Opals. Where was Shigo from? I don't remember. All right, we got 6 mana. They can, I guess, if they like really want to exile my Stoneforge, they can do that. I feel like oh man, I could have responded to the Writhing Chrysalis triggers by casting Surge, so they would have to tag their Utopia Sprawl. That's so gross. I think I'm supposed to just let this go. Yeah. Because I don't think it changes much. Oh, okay, just no. All right, I'll make a dude. Okay. What do we want to get here? Do we just want to get like a Mox Opal? Probably. That seems right to me. Yeah, almost certainly correct. Just give me the mana. Yeah. Okay. An equipper, please. Please. It'd be 5, 6, 7 from the pump, 8, 9. Ancient Stirrings, sure. I know we cast that one. Kozilek's Return. That was not a good hit. this economy? What are we hitting? It doesn't matter. I'm gonna surge. Basically doesn't matter at all. Equipper one time. I know I've said that like 4 times, but it's like, do it. Do it. Draw me an equipper, please. I'll block. Not you. I won't block you. Okay, sure. Okay, so we know one of their cards is K return. I'm just gonna run out all the shit. Or actually, am I supposed to just equip a Leyline Axe to one of these guys? I guess if they want to trade like their World Breaker and a Devourer, they wouldn't even do it. They would have to block all their guys on the Construct. Seems pretty good. Attack. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they can't even. Yeah, all right. That's probably better. Yeah, just get them. I'd like to attack for 14. Like, I don't know. It's kind of hard for them to reasonably block. They're coming back for 5. If they just take the 14, they're coming back for 5, 9, 15. That's not enough. Okay. Yeah, so we get to attack for 14. Maybe one day we will draw an equipper. We'll say, like, just main deck having 4 surges has felt pretty good, so it might be we're supposed to play the Forge Anew and not play, like, the 1 Steel Shaper's Gift. I might be willing to believe that, because, yeah, here, even just, like, having the Forge, since we're just playing a slightly longer game, could be, you know, it wins the game. I know, we're so close, man. We're 5 mana or 1 card. It's 1 card. I think people just don't realize you can equip this card for 3. Oh, okay. They disconnected. That makes sense. When people ask me what this card is, I just tell them it's Embercleave, because it's literally Embercleave, except it starts on the battlefield instead of flashing in. Okay. That makes sense. This costs 10, right? To buy back and cast. 2, 6, 7. Yeah, so it would be quite a bit to ask to do both. That's a lot of damage. Oh, just okay. Just take 14. I accept. Okay. So they must have like a K command, because they always have a K command. Always. Mm. Floated green. Surpriseless cleave. I feel like most of the time Embercleave also had no surprise. It was like, oh, it's like any Coco deck that just passes with 4 mana up. Damn, I didn't have anything to do. I only have these 3 cards in my hand. In my 1, 2, and 3 drop deck. What is that? Is that the Toby Beastie Befriender? Okay, yeah. So it's It's K command because it's always K command. Tagging that. Okay. Scry X, draw a card. Okay. Kind of surprised they didn't just make a million dudes to force a block on the Writhing Chrysalis, but. Zero top, 3 bottom. Love that. It's always scary when they're like, nah, just leave them. Okay. So, mana source, equipper. Okay. Let's go. All right. I don't know how much it is. It's $1 billion. So 5, 6. So it's 6. So 7, 8, 19. It's 40. Okay, that's plenty. Just attack with both, right? Yeah, it doesn't matter. So yes. You kept 5 on top. Why? Your opponent conceded, right? It's a couple damage, he says. Yeah, surely Yogg could never cast anything for 2 damage. All right. Yeah. I was going to do this in case of Dismember. I've definitely clicked through this before, so I'm very careful to click exactly 1 time. All right. 40 and 1. The Memnites just there to send a message. All right. Cool. The consigns. Maybe Swan Song is reasonable because tagging K command is just that good. I'll try it, sure. Like 2 Memnites, 2 Surge, a gift. Probably Needle for Cyst, sure. Yeah. At the end of the 5 cards you hardcast Emrakul. I feel like, why did we bother K command for 5 and then cast Emrakul? Were you just bullying them? If you were, that checks out. Yeah, sure. Yeah, the ageless version has felt just like leagues better, unfortunately. Oh yeah, bullying a blue-red Wizards player seems fine. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this. Yeah, and the aidless version is definitely the better build, unfortunately. You can add a couple aids if you want, but I think Forge is the better equipper after you're playing max paladins and BIs. Okay. So we go Inkmoth, Hammer. We cannot equip Inkmoth and attack next turn, right? No, we're short either way. That being said, I still think I like just running out the hammer at least. And I'll hold the Mox Opal. Yeah, and if you're not like planning to play competitively, like you don't need the Mopals anyway. Just kind of do whatever you want. Okay. Okay. Yep. Eldrazi. Okay. Sure. All right. Pretty rude, but whatever. Oh, yes. Yes. Let's go. Okay. Pass turn. I like that we have the surprise filter mana off of Opal. Yeah. Yeah, truly a surge. See, we don't actually need them all because we will simply draw them when we need them. That is clearly the line here. If they hadn't had the Haywire Might, I would probably have gone for the Paladin equipped to Paladin line there. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. That's so many manas. Yeah, so Surveil. Are they really just gonna keep not killing the hammer? I don't think we need a fourth equipper. So we can play Inkmoth, play Hammer, hold up Surge. Yeah, truly, it could not be a K command. I think it's just Inkmoth. Funny enough, it could be a Devourer because the only permanent they can target is the Sprawl. Question is, I think we're just supposed to wait, right? Because we can go Paladin equip. I mean, like, Paladin equip seems pretty good. Yeah, but then we just tap ourselves out of Surge too, so probably not worth it. We could, like, chip in. Yeah, I don't hate that. Sure. Let's go, boys. Yeah. I don't know. Exactly. It's a clock, okay? They can do one at a time. We can do one, like, that they can't heal back from at a time in before they Melira us. Okay. Eldrazi Temple. Sure. Okay, so if we go Plains, so tap Inkmoth, animate Plains, we can BI and Surge. Seems pretty good. But they don't have the Karn in play right now, so kind of tough. I guess, like, the benefit is because we can't also give flying again. So yeah, I'll go for the kill. Yeah. So it doesn't actually matter. Yeah. All right. Because they could potentially force us to use the mana at a weird spot otherwise. So yeah. All right. Yeah. All right. Blocks, no blocks. Let's do this. And look, we have 2 hammers. This is kind of like one at a time. If they have K return, this is not actually, like, that bad. It's like, kind of sucks, but okay, that's fine. So we let this happen and the might dies too. Sure. Okay. I'll allow it. Note that it's colorless, so I can't search it, in case anyone in chat or on the video is watching and wondering. Sure. So they can't get that. They can get the Karn. Ugh. What a massive beating. Yeah, all right. Ugh. Yeah, so kind of what I was saying, where it's just like, okay, killed my Mox Opal is fine. So we go Paladin here, I would presume. Yeah, we go Paladin. And actually, hold up. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. So we can go Paladin. Hope, I know they don't have to, but we can hope they go like Devourer into hand and cast it. Yeah, all right. To kill the Paladin, and then hopefully we rip land. I think that's the plan. It is funny because I think K return generally like not great against me, but obviously it was pretty good here. Okay. Doing this before. All right. Yeah, this was a good draw. Okay. Maybe we weren't supposed to do that. Yeah. Let me just hold up the Surge. Surge in response to Karn, then animate Inkmoth. Inkmoth Battlefield costs 4 effective mana, so we were 1 short because the Mopal can't make mana under the Karn anyway. That's good enough for me. All right. Maybe we'll draw Consigns. I mean, it seems fine. I think I'm just gonna put in the extra Surge, frankly. Anything else we want to potentially cut? I think this is fine. All right. You're good. No worries. Karn and needle blindness affect a lot of people, including myself sometimes. All right, so pretty please. Could draw like, I'm just like, the issue is like, obviously if we get flooded with Surges and Consigns, well, if we get flooded with Consigns, I'm pretty happy. But we can't, if we get too flooded with Surges, it's pretty bad. Okay, I would love to play first. This is a keep. Now this is a hand. I don't think I need to worry too much about surveilling. I think we just like fetch, shock, hammer, turn to, depending on what they do, Saga, hammer. Or we just lead with Saga. I don't hate that either. Do we have boots in the deck still? We do still have the boots. Okay. It's not bad. I think I'm just going to lead and fetch shock hammer. Just be mana efficient. I don't think the Surveil matters too much, considering we have like 2 hammers and a paladin already rolled up, plus a consign. Man, would have loved an axe, but beggars, choosers, all that good stuff. This also disguises the consign like a little bit better, since I don't think they've actually seen consign. I think they've only seen freaking surges. All right. Oh, okay. I mean, like if we go Saga, Hammer off of Saga, Mopal, Paladin, double equip Hammer, I don't think they can kill that. The Dismember doesn't do it. Off of 1 mana, they can't really do it. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. And I think we do have to do that in order, right? No way to draw a card off of it. If we want to stick the Saga, which I think we do. Yeah, all right. All right. And then we get to hold up consign next turn. Yeah, I don't know what they can have here. They can like, if they can make a spawn, they can block for a turn potentially, unless we just like rip axe and giggle. Might would be pretty good, yeah. There we go. All right. Turn 2, 22-22, pretty good. Yeah, so it turns out when I have my busted mana card, you know, it's much closer. Of course, the game where we draw a consign, we don't even get to do it anything. It's also like you play the might and then you just kind of have to block and then probably tag the Saga after I've gotten to make a const. Feels really bad. It's probably what they have to do, but it feels bad. Emotional support consign. You know what? I'm behind that. All right. This league's going a little bit better. I forget. Oh, did we play against... Was it Eldrazi, Amulet Eldrazi this league? Ugh, barf. All right. I would love to play first. Yes. It's got to put it out into the universe. Turn 2 kill. Let's go. Oh, no. That's a Shadow Spear, not a hammer. That's still fine. Yep. Boop. Okay. So the question is, can we draw a card off of Shadow Spear? Yeah, we can. Okay, cool. Yeah, so we can turn 1 Paladin. That's pretty good. Pretty good. If I knew what they were playing, I would probably put the Leyline Axe on the Paladin. Like, if I knew they just had Unholy Heat. But since I don't know that, I won't do that. Okay, Windswept Heath. Paladin feels a little bit safe. Nope, okay, not safe at all. Okay. So we're playing against Boros. I guess the good news is that we get to play and equip Shadow Spear and attack for... Oh, come on! Come on! All right, whatever. All right. I'll attack for 6. What? Yeah, what a beating, because I just, like, don't play the Paladin on 1. All right, that was fun, though. We'll just draw an Equipper, like another Equipper now. What the hell? Just main deck? So rude. Okay, well, we drew the Equipper. Main deck Wrath the Skies and Boros? Yes, game one. I'm hoping it's like a control shell. It doesn't look like it. What a low team move. That's not very. Yeah, it's not very handsome or thin of you. Artifact or creature card from you say? Resolves. No, I think this is just Mardu cards that this person owns. 8 Titan. I don't think I've heard of this. Sure. Jesus Christ. All right, well, this matchup seems like a nightmare. Right on time, right on time. What an incredible beating. Oh, yeah, just let this happen. Okay. Okay, okay. That's a real card. And now, if they arena and we rip a land, we win. Which is pretty cool. I mean, we need to find a hammer too. Okay. So we do get to surge. Yeah, alright, so I'm just gonna surge now. Now they have to hit themselves or the Flage at least. And we can block with the Inkmoth Nexus, which is sick. I'll freaking block. Yeah, I'm gonna block. Alright, gain no life. Alright, Surge of Salvations, flavor text coming in big here. Okay. Oh, it's 5/5 now. That's fun. I think we're supposed to just Stoneforge Hammer here. Yeah. I can't beat more stuff, so they can't have it. Okay. Yeah. Can't block. Thanks. I'll take a look at it. Oh, yeah. Surely they don't have removal, right? That's impossible. Oh, okay. I mean, we're getting a Mopal regardless. So, yeah. All right, well. Sure. Mopal, yeah. All right. That's what we're doing. They already know about the battlefield too, so. Okay. All right. I guess we're not actually dead here, right? Because we can play Paladin, equip both. So, we'll play another turn. In before second Wrath of the Skies. Here, pull it up. Over here. There we go. Yeah, now. Get me back to the match where I'm gonna fucking die. Sure, okay. I guess we could draw another Paladin. I guess I'll bring in the Rest in Pieces. They have one ending that they drew? It's so rude. All right. So definitely want the Rest in Peace. They probably have like Stony Silence in the sideboard. No, they don't. Just Wear Tears. Okay, so it's just a pile of just spot removal. Swan Song, because it counters Wrath of the Skies. That's probably about it. I would assume this is the worst matchup someone could design. if I had to guess. Wear Tear. Cage. How good is Cage against them? Probably like, wow, they don't actually have that much spot removal. They have 2 Dreams of Steel and Oil. They found both. 4 Galvs, that's like the big one. 4 Wrath of the Skies. Okay, some discard spells. I think Cage is actually like not crazy to bring in. So like these 4 cards in. Probably cut the Memnites. Are Memnites or Ornithopters? Ornithopters probably better. Yeah, because they have like Seasoned Pyro and stuff. Okay. Yeah, we'll just keep the 1 gift then. Sure. All right. Yes, I will play. Yes, I will keep. Can Surveil on 1. I'll play out a Mopal. Why not? So they enter from the stack, but escaping is casting. So it does stop them. It also stops like Faithless Looting flashbacks. Yeah, escaping should be casting. So that's my understanding anyway. It's a land. I'll top it. Yep. All right. Give me a hammer. You wouldn't have a removal spell for my Stoneforge, would you? You would? Honestly, so rude. Jesus. All right. All right. Okay, tapped land. I like that. Probably hold the Rest in Peace for now and just go like... Could Stoneforge grab another hammer, honestly. It's probably correct. Yeah. All right. Yep. Cast hammer. And if they want a Wrath, like, could be worse. Okay. No second removal spell. Certainly they wouldn't have Wrath of the Skies for X equals 1, pay 2, nuke my board. They wouldn't do me like that, would they? They would. Blage? Okay, that one's fine. Are they dead? I believe they're dead, yeah. Sweet. Huge fan of that. Because Lotus Petal. I'll do the math real quick to make sure. Okay, so they're definitely dead now. Tap that. Play hand. I guess we can just animate too. Yeah. Nope. Didn't need it. Yeah. Tapping out was a choice. They know about the other hammer, so. Ooh, could do another one. What the? This is so unhinged. What did they exile? Prismatic ending, sure. All right. Whatever. Sure, all right. Well, I guess we get to move everything to the Paladin at least, so the potential Flage coming back doesn't kill it immediately. That does explain why they tapped out, though. They've made changes. Here's the Wrath. Yep. X equals 1. Nuke my board. I deserve that. I deserve that. All right. Well, time to rest in peace. Okay. Well, good draw. I think we play out hammer here. Yeah. That lets us go for a kill again. Bye. Get out, Flage. You big stupid head. I think I'm just going to try to kill them again. Right? They have 3 cards. We still have boots in here too. So we can animate, play Paladin after Moxing. Yeah, seems right. All right, so we'll play this. Fuck it. Make him have another one. They would never have another Wrath. Never. Okay. Yeah, float, mana, whatever. It doesn't matter. Okay. All right. Jesus. Yeah, I don't think we could find a worse matchup than the Wrath of the Skies bullshit. Another Wrath of the Skies. All right. Stoneforge, let's go get a Nettlecyst. Oh my goodness. Where were you earlier? My God. Yeah. Nettlecyst it is, I think. I don't think it matters, so that's good news. True, our opponent is never losing to Opal decks. Like, no question. Honestly, they're probably still losing to Breach. I'm going to move on. So this is the rough part about leagues, right? You play against that. Yeah, like I think that deck is probably still pretty bad against Breach, which is funny. I'm gonna keep this hand. Yeah. We're on the play with Axe, Saga. I think I'm just gonna lead with Saga here, especially since we have a second one. Appreciate all hanging out though. This has been an adventure, let's say. Beating Titan's sweet. I'll take it. X. Okay. Does my trigger resolve? I think I probably will run out the Mopal. Yeah. What goodies do you have for me? Okay, it's actual Boros energy this time. Okay, okay. So the question is, are we surveilling or sagaing? And I think the answer is saga. Yeah, almost certainly. Yeah, all right. Yeah, Justin, that last match was an experience. All right. I guess it might just be land because if they have a if they have a Thraben Charm, it's pretty bad for me, but whatever. I think I'm okay with that. All right. All right. Y'all ready for Blood Moon? No one's playing Blood Moon right now, but I bet our opponent is. Just call shot. All right. Windswept Teeth. No, not my Windswept Teeth. What do we got? Opponent, you aren't allowed to have anything else. It's not. That's against the rules. So float mana, probably get a hammer unless we draw a hammer. If we draw a hammer, I'll probably get an axe. Or boots. A pair of boots. Maybe they'll play like a sweet card like Fable of the Mirror Breaker here. Okay. So probably a 3-drop, but we shall see. Could also be just like a Johnny hold up removal spell. Oh my god. Okay, okay, they're dead. Thank God. I was so worried. I mean, they could have Solitude too, I guess. Okay. Yep. All right, we're just gonna float mana here. I guess they're not dead. So yeah, get. Yeah. All right. Probably get boots here. We get boots here. Can make a construct and suit up and play Ornithopter. And then next turn get a hammer. The hammer is like leagues better to have in play which is pretty significant. So probably correct to do that. Yeah, I'll play hammer. And fetch now. Could also just make a construct now. I'll definitely play out the Ornithopter. Make a construct. Yeah, Battlefield Improv is very real. I was very, very wrong on the card, and that's okay. I think making a construct's pretty good. So I think that makes a lot of sense to do. But I guess we get the surveil if we do this now. Yeah, it seems okay. Just a 5/5. All right, so they do need to have an answer like now-ish. Yeah, I guess getting the hammer is a lot better against something like a Thraben Charm as well, because they can Thraben Charm the Saga, and then we wouldn't be able to obviously get another hammer, and the hammer I think is more important. So hoping to draw like Surge makes it really simple. And if this sticks, then we, yeah, I know, please. Wildfather, I'm with you, man. Just please tap out. Please, like, attack. I'll block the Ragavan with the construct. You tap out to, like, kill it and play in a Johnny. Oh, okay, so they are on the Ranger Captain build. Usually with, like, Mockingbird. Yeah, okay, there's a Johnny. That's fine. Okay, kill the cat. Sure. Okay. All right. So are they going to kill the construct to try to get the Ragavan through? Because I will just throw the Ornithopter under the bus. Because Paladin will be a 12. So a 1, 2, 12, 13. So 26 coming across. Yep. All right. That's what they're doing. 27, 28 because we'll be getting boots. Yeah. Okay. That's fine. Yeah. No, don't flip into Johnny. He's hot. Oh no, he's hot too. Okay. Don't get me with your big strong cat. All right. Yeah. I mean, they haven't seen our second color, so it's probably just correct to get a plains here. Sag. Doesn't really matter, so. Okay, float mana. Oh, yeah, so float mana, grab boots. The boots. Play Paladin. Equip. Equip. Is this enough? I don't know. I will attack you. Actually, hold up. It is correct to do this. You for 28. Let's go. Not in a Johnny. I was wondering if they'd block. It'd be sweet. All right. So against them, I like just like the Wear Tears, the Needle for Cage, or for Goblin Bombardment, and then like Swan Song's probably good enough. It tags, yeah, Bombardment, Static Prison. Wrath of the Skies is the obvious one since everyone's playing that card like a big bully. I think we're mostly just supposed to ignore Ragavan so we can cut the Memnites. Nettle Cyst I think is probably way too slow for this matchup. But yeah, maybe keep a Memnite on the draw. Sure. Could do this. Bin the gift, but I think being able to grab multiple things with gift is pretty good. So, all right, whatever. All right, let's go. Grab consign to counter the Johnny flip trigger. That's the plan. Those are just tears, if we're being honest. Okay. Yeah, of course we've played against Breach 0 times, which is sad because I think it's one of our better matchups. I also think the games are like, game 1 is not interesting at all, but game 2 and 3 I think get really interesting. Swan Song is, yeah, it's fine. It's mostly as a counterspell for Wrath of the Skies that can hit other things. You could also play Spell Pierce in that slot. We were playing some different things earlier, but I think Swan Song is the best option. Could be wrong. All right, they are on the play. Were we on the play game 1? No, we were on the... Oh, yeah, we were on the play. Okay. I can read sometimes. Yeah, Wrath is just incredibly rude. So this hand's kind of slow. I don't think it gets there, but like I'm curious. So we're doing this one for science. I would probably mulligan in a tournament. Especially seeing the Jeskai, we are not going to get Blood Moon, which is pretty big. No, I don't. Well, I don't think we Opal Saga on 1. Like, we definitely don't Opal. We can play Saga on 1. But I think we just, like, Shock. And that way we can tag, like, if they play Goblin Bombardment on 2 or something like that to set up a turn 3 Johnny, we can tag the... Okay, Ocelot Pride, sure. So awkwardly, since we have both Hallowed Fountains in our hand, it means we cannot... Yeah, I'm just going to Windswept Heath. I mean, this hand is slow. Like, you don't have Metalcraft until at least turn 3. So, like, Opal doesn't actually do that much. Okay. I'm going to get my Surveil. Don't do it. Don't cast a 2-drop. Okay, deal. That's not the bombardment, so it's okay. All right, let's Surveil into the garbage. Yeah, so Saga for sure. And then play Ornithopter. Pass. I guess we could play Mopal to incentivize them to either Wrath of the Skies or Stony, if that's what their plan is, because Swan Song tags both. Okay. I'll block. This one. Sure. All right. Take 3, 4. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Are they okay? I was like, are they Blood Mooning? That's unhinged. Okay, wow, that is a way to get that. All right, yeah, we're probably toast. Assuming they can kill the... I guess the Surge covers us from getting roasted by an Ajani at least. So there's that. Yeah. Yeah, his hand was too slow. Okay, okay. That's good. So we shock. We shock probably... Play hammer? Question mark. Probably just making a dude. Yeah, shock, make a dude. And then that also lets us hold up. Let's see. So we're taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Not dead in theory. Not attacking. If we had another hammer, they'd be dead. So that's cool. All right. What do we got? Mr. Donut. Yeah. Them not having the Guide of Souls is pretty huge here. It's also possible I was supposed to just make a construct on my turn to keep the get the mopal active. But we'll see. Okay. Dashing Ragavan. Sure. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 attackers. We can block 2 things. We block Cat, probably block Ragavan and Seasoned Pyro. And then take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Not dead is huge. Okay. And we block that way because Surge also protects our creatures from dying. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so block here, block here. Let's play Baller to turn it on anyway. You can still make a construct with mobile mana. So if you're thinking hammer, it's because I wanted to hold up Swansong or Search. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, those are my blocks. All right, Surge. So now my creatures won't die. They can't like do something funky post combat like flip a Johnny, all that stuff. And I had to save my creatures, otherwise the Ornithopter would die to the Spyro and then Construct would die. But I guess we probably could have put Ornithopter on an Elemental, taken 1 more damage, and then we would have been able to hold up the Surge. Yeah, okay. We do have the Swan Song still available, though, so we should be in pretty good shape here. Just get a second hammer. Yeah, all right, well, That's what we're doing. If we win this, it's gonna be very silly. Yeah, get a hammer. I'm going to fetch. Since there's no difference between 2 life and 1 life here, play a hammer. All right, and attack with both. Because screw it. It's gonna be wild. Okay. So deal 22. Let's see if they have 2/1 mana interaction spells here. Let's make sure I targeted the right thing. Thopter. Okay. Oh shit. Okay. Did it work? I feel like it worked. Let's go. All right. That so despite playing, I think, a deck that is just like, I want to never lose the hammer at all. It was all right. So let's take a look. Okay, so oh my god, why? That was fun. Okay, so these are zeros. Let's be real. And here we go. Okay, so I like where this is at. The big concern, yeah. So Battlefield is just like this card that people just die to. Like what do you mean I died? There was no paladin. Yeah, it just plays way more aggressively than Aid. You just kill people out of nowhere. Interacts with Karn in a much more favorable way. On the sideboard, I mean, Swan Song's probably fine as like the one for fun. Rest in Peace. I still think we probably just want. So if you're going to a large open event, I think Cage is better than Rest in Peace. I said this earlier. I'll be dropping a separate video, kind of the early discussion, which was just kind of touching base on the tournament, as well as kind of my thoughts on the list and how I changed it. And basically, Rest in Peace is better than Cage against Breach because it does all the same things, except it also stops Haywire Might from coming out of a Saga Chapter 3. That's the big difference there. Of course, being an artifact for Metalcraft is pretty significant, and costing 1 instead of 2 relevant. But yeah, so we cut the Forge anew. We cut the second Steel Shaper's Gift to be able to bring the 2 surges into the main. I could see cutting the gift for a Forge anew because it is pretty nice to have the 9th Equipper, even though it is substantially worse than BI and PP Paladin. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. Hushbringers are just like straight up for white-black. I need to play that matchup a little bit more, but I'm okay not playing it because that matchup is so bad. But we'll see how they adjust with the Ketramos card. I think that's the god's name, and then kind of go from there. But that was the list. Once again, appreciate y'all hanging out. Ton of fun. List feels very real. Unfortunately, we didn't get to play against Breach at all, which I think is where kind of the optimizations we've made have felt pretty good.